So, welcome to this episode of the Think and Get Rich show with me, Rich Waterman. So, in these shows, as well as me sort of sharing some information about some of my mindset techniques and business strategy techniques, I also have the amazing privilege to work with a number of really, really cool clients as being a business coach. And one of my clients is the amazing Geeta Tailor, who's here today.
Hello.
And I've also got the amazing privilege of being Geeta's client as well. So I'd love to give you a little bit of background on that. I've sort of been very privileged to have a lot of success in my life in terms of great relationships, great kids, business success, multimillionaire by the age I was 31, blah, 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 blah. And the one thing I always ignored was my health and nutrition. Played a lot of sport when I was young. I ate accordingly to fuel myself and developed quite a bad sugar habit. And then, as a lot of us do, got the middle age spread, didn't really take it too seriously, only addressed my health when things started to get out of control a little bit. And then last year got diagnosed with type 2 diabetes and kind of deserved it, really. And so really the game that I've been playing for many years was allowing my health to slip by 1%, 5%, 10%, 20% and not really realizing it. And it was really when I got sort of bit slapped in the face by type 2 diabetes that I started to take it seriously. And while I've had great support from the National Health Service in the UK, I was aware that a lot of the knowledge that they have isn't that sophisticated. And basically sort of approached Geeta about ways to improve my nutrition, my health, supplements, etc., so that I could be drug-free from type 2. But it's not just what Geeta does, working with chronic diseases, although that's one of the core things she does. And I wanted to get her on here and talk about some really sort of health nutrition tips to help my viewers out there to take their health to another level, and then find out a bit more about what Geeta does as well. So over to you, Geeta. What are kind of the core things really that we should be looking at?
Thank you, Rich, for having me on your show today. Well, so health and nutrition. You're right, the NHS is brilliant at some of the stuff it does. I think one of the areas that it is a little bit set back is on the nutritional side and looking after your health through what you eat and drink every day. And there's a few core principles when it comes to nutrition, and it's just eating the food that's right for you, okay? Not following any fad, not following, not making it a dogmatic reason why you are eating a particular food. And when it comes to diabetes, which is, something that you say it's chronic, and you're right, it is chronic. We're talking about type 2 diabetes. There are a couple of things that you need to really look at when that is the case. And yes, food is number one. The type of food you're eating, how often you're eating it, how much you're eating it, at what times you're eating, okay? Because if you're eating foods that is, so carbohydrates that you do not then burn off, okay, and you're eating high quantities of those, you are putting a lot of stress on your pancreas to metabolize those sugars and get them to burn it, basically, get them into and burn it. And when we're looking at how you're doing that, we want to make sure that you're not just talking about carbohydrates and proteins and fats, but you're actually looking at the minerals, vitamins and minerals, okay, which also help your body uptake things. The other side, which you I think you touched upon, is your stress management. So if you're leading a very high adrenaline lifestyle, whether that's working all the hours the day has, and you're not stopping, and you're under pressure, that is working in a stressed environment. And whenever your cortisol is high, your glucose will go high as well. And this is not about the food you're eating. This is about your body producing, allowing you to give you the resources to eliminate that stress. Okay, but if you're sitting at your desk and you're worried and you're under pressure, trying to hit deadlines, or trying to hit that target or whatever it is, and you're eating at your desk and you're not moving, yes, your glucose is going up, but it's not being burnt. Yeah. So what happens is, especially when we're looking at diabetes, and people say to me, "Oh, but I, I'm eating really well now, but the sugar's still high." They haven't looked at that response. Are they living a stressed life? So we're looking at lifestyle and we're looking at nutrition and we're balancing that, but we're not following any really strict guidelines that are going to make you feel constricted or unable to follow the plan.
Yeah, that was very important to me when I came to you. And it's like, first of all, understanding, I remember filling out that long questionnaire and understanding sort of my personality and body type, and realizing there were certain foods that really just didn't suit me very well, and bizarrely a lot of the foods that I was eating a lot of. And then so making sure that I then had guidance as to what type of foods to go towards, and but also maintain that choice. It wasn't about denial. It was just like, you know what, these are generally the foods you need to be moving towards. And then there was that second awareness, as you said, which was, when I was getting stressed, that my natural reaction would be to reach for something sugary or a treat. So then I've got a double whammy going on there. I'm taking in more sugar and my cortisol's raised. That's why I've been reaching for the sugar. So then I've got like a double bubble sort of thing, in a negative way. So that was a real insight. But I think the thing that you said more than anything else, I think was very important, was working with you. It's enabled to give me choice. And you're right, denial definitely doesn't work for me, because I'm a natural rule breaker. So I've got to feel like I've got choice, and that's what, understanding better how my body's working, what it needs, has enabled me to have that choice. Yeah, brilliant.
And just with that, what I found is when you start to, when we start to constrict people, either they'll be the rule breaker or they'll do it, but they'll be so miserable doing it. And my belief about life is that anything that you do, you've got to do it with joy. And if you're allowed little treats here and there, you're more likely to sustain it longer and eventually come off those treats as well. So it's about doing taking small steps in making it right for a long term.
Yeah, because you're absolutely right. It's like, it's like with also my business clients as well, is they want to fix everything immediately. It's like, oh, this is wrong, it's not working, so I just want to fix it with a push button solution. It isn't. It's that, as you said, that series of small steps that are going to get you to the solution, whereby you create something that's sustainable, that you're going to enjoy, the way you start to just choose to make the better nutritional choices, and that is just like a stacking effect, isn't it? So yeah, very cool.
If you think about it, the reason why it went wrong, because you did it as a stacking effect. So you basically just go in the reverse way.
Cool. I think the other thing we were talking about before, Geeta, on one of our calls, was the fact that people often don't take nutrition and health seriously until something's going quite badly wrong. And the problem is you kind of not noticing almost the slippage in it. Obviously we'll realise when we get ill, even if it's a cold or a cough, whatever, which is probably again exacerbated by poor nutrition and health. And you can't work, and you can't earn money, or you can't go out and do your job, or whatever it may be. That's when it kind of gets your attention. And then, but we tend to have very short-term memories about these things. I think one of the things that I've realised is that health has to come first, because if that's not working, everything else falls to bits, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%. So if you think about at this moment in time, how is your physical health becoming a barrier to success in life? And whether that's business success, whether that's relationship success. And one of the things that tends to go first, very slowly, is your energy. And, if you find that you're starting to get tired, that's not normal. Tired during the day, or you're coming home and you're just so whacked that you can't do anything else. That's not normal. It's okay to be tired and then go to sleep from when you're supposed to be sleeping. But it's not okay to have those slumps throughout the day. It's not okay to have some sleep at night and then wake up just so tired. It's not okay. So you're just living life with a drag. And I would just say to anyone, just think for a moment that you had all the energy that you wanted, you had the flexibility in your body that you wanted, you had the clarity of mind, not the foggy brain. What more could you do, and what more could you just take in from what you're doing?
Yeah, that's so true. I'd actually almost label myself as lazy because I was getting these energy slumps in the day and like having naps and stuff, and then without realizing, basically, I was probably pre-diabetic. So I know that we've talked about different areas of people you work with. Obviously, we talked a bit more today about kind of chronic conditions like diabetes, and also making sure that you avoid getting to that place where I did, where I really had to make a change, or I felt I had to make a change. So you sort of work with chronic conditions. You also work with on the sports nutrition side as well, don't you, in terms of peak performance in that area. And then you also talked about stress and hormonal balance, and some people come to you about improving fertility as well.
Yes. So let me start with sport nutrition.
Yeah.
I often get calls or messages from people and saying, oh, what protein shake should I take? Or what should I take testosterone? I'm talking about men. Should I take DHEA? And these are, these are hormones, and hormones are tiny molecules that communicate, and the communication messengers. And I will always say, my theory is not to stop you doing it, but to say, have you tested to see where you're at before you start taking all these things? Because a hormonal balance, it may, taking testosterone may make you feel great instantly, but sometimes what you're doing is you're lighting a fire internally, and that fire is starting to burn slowly, and you're not addressing the real issues that are possibly causing the hormonal imbalance. So yes, age will cause that, but there's other things that might be stopping you from having the best out of your hormones, and you need to deal with the real issue. So improving your performance, eating the right foods is really, really important, and just checking if you do want to go down the route of taking let me give you one example very quickly.
Yeah, please do.
So I have a client who came to me a couple of months ago, 2-3 months ago actually, and wanted to take DHEA because other people in his environment were taking it as well, and wanted to take testosterone. And I said, no, you need to go and have your bloods checked first. And there are sports nutrition blood checkups that I can offer.
Yeah.
And we looked at the results, and the results were really bad. Okay. And what I was seeing, because this person was on a very, very high protein diet, was I was already starting to see signs of kidney damage. Okay.
Right. Wow.
And what people don't understand, if they're not testing, and the funny thing is, he felt okay. He wasn't feeling the symptoms. So so we and he had already signs of challenges with his liver. Okay. So it's not okay to still pump more things in the body. We need to correct that part first, and then look at, okay, if you want to take the hormones, we can look at first doing it through food, providing the body what it needs to make its own. And then if you still want more, then we can look at small amounts, okay?
Yeah.
We test regularly. So really, really important to get that clarity. Doesn't mean if you're not feeling the negative effects in your body, doesn't mean that nothing's happening, yeah? So, and I say that with all supplements, people tend to self-diagnose, and my thing is always moving people away from doing that.
Yeah, love it. So obviously I work one to one with Geeta to create solutions for myself, and it was originally to address type 2 diabetes, but then it is the whole energy thing. I've got, my brain comes up with so much stuff that I want to do each day on my business projects that ultimately I'm playing the energy game with Geeta as well. So I guess what I'm saying is this: that the reason that I wanted to get Geeta on there was to share some core information with you. I mean, I think there's increasing awareness now that kind of this high carb, low fat diet is actually not very good for us as human beings, or for many of us anyway. And that a lot of people are doing this self-diagnosis and just assuming because everyone else in their sector or their area is doing it that it's okay, and it clearly isn't. So if you are an expert, if you're looking for expert help on sports nutrition, or you have a chronic condition, or you want to avoid chronic conditions because you know that you're heading that way, because I did for many years. If you're dealing with a lot of stress and you're probably going to have hormonal imbalances as a result of that, or you're looking for fertility advice, then Geeta's kind of on a mission really to work with people like you one-to-one. So Geeta, if they are in that one of those 4 categories, what's the best way for them to get hold of you and start getting some help?
Okay, so please contact me. My website is geetatailor.com.
Very simple.
Very simple. You'll find more information on that, and hook up with me on Facebook. Send me a message through Messenger, and we can have a chat, and I can understand what you need, where you are, what you need, and where you need to get to, and we can start to look at what are the best options to help you get there.
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks, Geeta. So when would now be a good time to take that action if you're watching this video? Get hold of Geeta. She's a good friend of mine, and she's an amazing expert in this area, and her drive and passion is to help people in this area. If you're passionate about what you do and want to be growing your business, then obviously you can get hold of me at richwaterman.com. So thank you, Geeta, for your time today. And I look forward to hearing all the amazing stories and results you're going to get from people that are going to contact you as a result of this video. So thanks again, and we will see each other soon. I know that.
Bless you. Thank you, Rich. Take
Thanks.
care. Bye.
Bye now.